Hello everyone, this is Crystal Racing. I hope you're doing very well and good. And today I'm going to talk about what was F1 like when Robert Kubica last raced in the sport at the 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Number 1. Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel were both only one-time world champions. Of course, going into the 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel had been trailing behind in the championship all year long. However, thanks to an amazing turn of fortunes on that day, Vettel took pole position whilst Fernando Alonso and Mark Webber struggled thanks to bad pit strategies, and Vettel controlled the race from start to finish and won the World Championship by just 4 points ahead of Fernando Alonso and ahead of teammate Mark Webber. Of course, since then, both Lewis Hamilton has become a 5-time world champion and Sebastian Vettel has become a 4-time world champion. Number 2, Virgin, aka Mana Marussia, HRT and Caterham, who were then known as Lotus, were on the grid. Of course, in 2019, these three teams will not be on the grid, having disappeared quite some time ago, as Caterham had Jarno Trulli and Heikki Kovalainen driving for them, and by 2012 they changed their name after a copyright issue with Lotus, and then but unfortunately by 2014 the Caterham team shut down due to financial issues. Mana Marussia, then known as Virgin, had Timo Glock and Lucas de Grassi driving, but by the end of 2016 they shut down, having ended their time with Esteban Ocon and Pascal Wehrlein driving for them. And of course HRT would only last 3 years, as Spain's most recent Formula 1 team, as they had many drivers including Bruno Senna, Sakan Yamamoto, Karen Chanduk, Christian Klein, and later on Pedro de la Rosa, Narain Karthikeyan, and most notably Daniel Ricciardo drive for them. Only one of these teams ever scored a point, of course, thanks to Jules Bianchi scoring for what was then known as the Marussia team at the 2014 Monaco Grand Prix, but sadly, of course, they would only go on to score one more time at the 2016 Austrian Grand Prix with Pascal Wehrlein driving. Number 3, Max and Charles Leclerc were both only 13 years old. Of course, at the time they were racing in the European karting circles, but these days both of them are now driving for two of the biggest teams in F1 at Red Bull and Ferrari. And of course, it'll be the very first time that Robert Kubica could well go wheel to wheel with both drivers if his Williams proves competitive enough. Whilst, of course, if you look at some of the other younger drivers that will be competing in 2019, Lance Stroll was only 12 years old at the 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, whilst Lando Norris had only just turned 11 years old. And, of course, teammate George Russell was just a 12-year-old. Number 4, Michael Schumacher had just completed the first year of his comeback. In 2010, after a 3-year hiatus, 41-year-old Michael Schumacher came back for the Mercedes team with Ross Brawn in charge of the team. However, the 7-time world champion was absolutely thrashed by Nico Rosberg in the new look Silver Arrows team, as he would fail to score a podium all season long and finish behind Kubica in the standings. Of course, as you all might know by now, Schumacher would have to wait until 2012 to get his only podium finish of his comeback, and by the end of that season was pretty much forced to quit due to his age and really the fact that the team wanted Lewis Hamilton in his place. But he is widely credited by the team for the man who pushed them towards the title success they've had in the past 5 years. Next up, McLaren were the second best team in the sport. During this time, of course, McLaren had Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button driving, scoring many race wins that year, and would continue to win races for the following 2 seasons with a potent Mercedes engine. However, of course, by the end of 2012, Lewis Hamilton left the team. Jenson Button took their most recent win at the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix, and of course, these days, of course, last season they only finished 6th in the standings, with Jenson Button having retired from the sport over 2 years ago. Fernando Alonso also joining him in retirement for now, and of course Lewis Hamilton winning races and winning titles with Mercedes. Number 6, Malaysia, South Korea, Valencia and Turkey were all on the F1 calendar in 2010. Of course, back in 2010, they had only 19 races, but of course there were a lot of very decent tracks on the calendar, such as Sepang in Malaysia, which of course held its last race 3 years ago, and is has proven to be is sadly rather badly missed by a lot in the F1 paddock. South Korea and Valencia were rather poor circuits, truth be told. However, of course, they have been replaced by better circuits at places like Austria and France, and of course COTA in America, whilst Turkey, on the other hand, is a track that many people do miss due to the fact that the Istanbul Park circuit was a very challenging place for drivers to go to, and of course the famous Turn 8 complex with its 4.4 pointed apex was a real challenge for teams to set up their cars for. So, and of course since then we've also, however, unfortunately, we have replaced them with some other shoddy circuits, such as the Baku street track in Azerbaijan, and of course Sochi in Russia, which is of course built on the old Olympic Park. So yeah, we've had some good and bad changes. And the final point, as we all know, Robert Kubica was preparing to be Fernando Alonso's teammate at Ferrari for 2012. As you probably have heard by now, Robert Kubica did mention in an interview with Beyond the Grid with the Formula 1 YouTube channel that he had well and truly signed a contract for Ferrari for the 2012 season. Of course, for quite a few years, no one knew whether this was true, but his Beyond the Grid podcast with Tom Clarkson did indeed confirm the rumours to be true. And very sadly, unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see Robert Kubica race a Ferrari again, which is sad, but that is life. And of course, as Robert Kubica would say, he is going to be looking forward to racing for Williams this season. I hope you are, because I know I am looking forward to seeing Robert Kubica race for Williams. Hopefully, his 8 years out hasn't slowed him down too much. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again next time here at Crystal Racing.